gosh, look at that thing. Looks pretty good to me. I just got a weird feeling that there's a lion close. Feels like I'm being watched. And all the animals just went silent. That's our lion going across the hill right now. Got to keep both eyes open out here, or else Mother Nature will eat you. What is up, guys? I'm back. Currently headed deep into the wilderness, and all the gear I've got to survive is my fly fishing rod and my longbow and basic camping supplies. I've been paddling almost 3 days to get here to this ranch to hunt on. Looks like a flat spot that I could set up camp on right there. Thank goodness I brought a big tarp with me to help shade us from the sun, because this heat is going to be brutal. I'm actually going to set up my tent right here under this tarp. We're in this trip for the long haul. All right, here's home for the next, I don't know how long, for a while. I guess till I run out of arrows, which is gonna be a while, because I got a ton of arrows. This is gonna be an awesome adventure, and I'm glad you guys joined me. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. I'm not gonna have cell service for a couple weeks, and people are always wondering why I don't ever answer my phone. Well, I'm busy. I'm almost always unreachable because I'm in a place like this. Most important piece of gear actually is probably right there, my solar panel, so I can charge my camera equipment. Without that, I couldn't bring you guys along with me. This is the absolute cheapest tent I could find on Amazon. Am I gonna regret it? Probably. I suspect most of the animals will be bedded down in the shade. I'm just gonna glass here from camp. Pretty sure we'll look into something eventually. We got nothing but time. All right, I'll see y'all once it starts to cool off, and I'm gonna go set up a place to hunt. A little later in the day, finally about to start cooling off. Let's go see if we can find us a place to hunt. I'm gonna try to find a trail where they're coming down to water. I'll see y'all once I get set up. I got about close to a 3-mile walk to where I want to get to. All right, we're all set up. It's not half bad considering what we're working with here. I'm not sure exactly which direction they're gonna come from. I've got trails all around me, but the wind is swirling, so. All right, now the waiting game begins. Ready to rock and roll. There's a deer. It was a doe. I'm not sure where she went. She's somewhere grazing in these trees still. My hands are sweating from adrenaline. That's why I hunt with equipment like this. It makes your blood pump way better. Trust me. I know there's still a deer right here somewhere. Well, my wind just swirled and she blew and ran out of here. There was more than one. Got some Barbary sheep running in the distance. I've got a tag for one of those as well. So there's also a chance we'll get one of them. The wind is just going back and forth, back and forth. There's a chance that's what spooked them. A big gray fox. It's possible. Just came from right where they ran. In this thick brush country. You do more hunting with your ears than your eyes. You hear them almost always before you see them. And that's probably a good thing because I'm almost legally blind. I got another fox right here. I could shoot him, but I got no reason to. We're both just out here hunting for a living. mosquitoes starting to come out. All right, I got a long walk back to camp. Actually, probably a run. I always get creeped out walking in mountain lion country in the dark. I'm gonna be back here first thing in the morning before sunrise. Made it back to camp alive, surprisingly. I guess I'm just gonna eat some dried venison and call it a night. Tomorrow I'm really gonna focus on trying to get some fresh meat, whether it be a fish or rabbit, something to eat, but I can't just live on dried venison. There's not enough fat in it. I will see y'all early in the morning. Gotta wake up about 4 a.m. so I can make it there by daylight. All right, let's go hunting. I've spotted something to my right, and then suddenly my chair pops. Yeah, it was a huge sheep. I'm done with that chair for now. Something laid some kind of eggs on my bow last night. Alright, let's start the long hike back to camp. If it wasn't for that chair right there making noises, I would have definitely gotten that sheep. Oh well, he wasn't too spooked. He might come back this afternoon for water. Well, let's hope these bugs don't hatch off my bow into my tent, because I have no idea what they are. I tried to scrape it off, but it was kind of hard. All right, I'm hoping I can have some fried catfish for lunch, so let's go see if we can catch us some bait. Hopefully a cricket or something. I got this hand reel here out of my survival kit. Got a hook there. Should work. I've also got my fly rod, but fly rods aren't really great for catching catfish. Well, I thought that was a worm right there. And it's actually the tail of either a lizard or a snake. I almost grabbed it. All right, I got my line baited up here with a piece of scorpion. Let's see if a fish will even eat a scorpion. I have no idea, honestly. Hoping for a catfish, but I'll take a bluegill or a catfish, either way. Just gonna put my hand reel here on this stick, so hopefully that'll hold it. Already, I didn't even have time to finish brushing my teeth barely, and look at that. We got a catfish. He's not very long. Yeah, I'm gonna turn him loose. He's not quite big enough. Back he goes. Let's try for another. Well, that one might be a first for me. I just casted that line out there, and we've got a shad. Instantly, but this will make great bait here. I'm gonna cut them up into pieces. All right, I got the guts of that shad put on my hook here. This should give me a much better chance at a big catfish. Shouldn't take long. Something's messing with it already. Well, that's what was stealing my bait. Caught him. Now I gotta try to unhook him without getting bit. That's not gonna be easy. Whew. Yeah, 50 bites. Well, that was a whole ordeal. I got all my fingers still, but I don't think he'll be doing that again. I just got it casted back out there with some fresh bait. Another turtle. Now, I'm not sure the legality on keeping these things in this state I'm in here. Ah. Okay, gotta try to figure out how to get this one unhooked without losing a finger. It's getting too hot out here, so I'm gonna give up on the fishing for now. My dried axis jerky. That's all we're gonna have for lunch. I got enough of this stuff to get me by a couple more days, but I need to ration it. Got a lot of time to kill while it's too hot to be out hunting. So I brought this bow stave with me, this piece of Osage orange I've been seasoning in a while. I've got it chased down to pretty much one growth ring on the back. I just need to take some off the belly of the bow and get it tillered. I didn't bring a backup bow. All I brought was this piece of wood, so I really need to get a bow built as quick as possible. This is my spare bow. It's just a piece of wood currently. Nowhere near ready to be bent yet. I would much rather be hunting with a homemade bow, so if we can get this one done, this is what we're gonna hunt with on this trip. I pretty much just build all these bows with just my knife. It's really the only tool you need. You don't need anything fancy to build a bow. Maybe a file. File comes in handy. It's just a little over 50 inches. I think I'm gonna go for another plain style bow here, which would have typically been carried by the Comanches, the Kiowas. Large herd of Barbary sheep grazing up that draw right there. If I go chasing after them, spotting stock, there's a chance I push them out of the area. I don't want to do that. God, there's probably 30 of them up in those trees. A couple of really big ones. They're actually working their way this way. We've still got a few hours before I was planning on heading to hunt, but I've got a group of them headed towards my blind, so I'm gonna try and get ahead of them. As I was walking in here, there was a giant sheep in front of my blind that winded me and took off running. I did not expect them to be moving in the middle of the day like this. My plan might be working. I just heard some rocks sliding. And I look over. We've got a whole herd of sheep on the side of this hill. Let me see if I can zoom really in on it. They're a long way off. There's probably 30 or 40 sheep in that group. That's got to be the ones I saw watered earlier. I knew they were heading this way. They've got a lot of ground to cover before dark to get here. But it does look like they're coming. I heard something. There's just a young doe coming downwind of me and she smelled me. Oh, the wind is just so unpredictable here in these canyons. Sooner or later though, we're gonna get lucky. One's gonna get close. And then suddenly out of the corner of my eye, I spot this huge sheep. And then suddenly he turns and decides to come back towards me. He's coming my way. I think he's gonna give me a shot. grab it yet. Alright, I'm gonna go see if there's any blood on that arrow. No blood. Clean miss. We'll get him next time. Alright guys, made it back to camp. That was a heck of a, that was a pretty interesting day there. Had a great opportunity, was just a little bit too far. You guys always ask me what I bring for protection when I'm on these trips in the wilderness. And this trip, all I've got's that bow and a knife. So hopefully that big old bear don't try to come eat my food in the night. I'll see y'all first thing in the morning. The only thing I saw was those 2 does. All right, I'm heading back to camp. Maybe we can get a catfish for lunch. All right, catfish line's going out. Got a piece of shad on there. Well, that thing wasn't casted out there for 5 minutes. I caught this little smallmouth bass. It's kind of a weird thing to catch on a piece of dead bait, but I don't think he's quite the legal length, so I'm gonna have to let him go. And while I wait for a fish to bite, I'm gonna be working on this bow. Typically one of these bows almost takes me a month to build. One little scrape at a time. That's how a bow's built. It's starting to come together nicely. Got a good bit of reflex in the stave, which is what I like to see. Lunchtime. It's all the food we got left right there. Should get me by a few more days as long as I ration it. There is just an absolute swarm of mosquitoes at this place. Even in the heat, in the middle of the day like this, I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes. Finally starting to look like a bow. Let's go hunting. This will probably be my last afternoon in that spot. I feel like I've flushed most of the game out of that particular canyon. I still haven't got used to that hike. That is one heck of a hike into here. My wind is blowing that way, which who knows, it'll probably change before the end of the day. Lord, please bless this arrow. I just got a weird feeling that there's a lion close. Feels like I'm being watched. And all the animals just went silent. All the birds quit singing. Kind of an eerie feeling. I don't know. I don't like it. Especially when I gotta walk out here a few miles in the dark. Mountain lion's main source of food is javelina and porcupine. Hopefully that doesn't change to people tonight. I did hear something come through my camp last night. I don't know what it was. When I yelled, it took off. Could have been a bear. I haven't showered in about a week. I probably smell like a javelina. Even if there is a lion close to you, chances of seeing them are extremely small, especially in this thick brush. They walk with silence. They usually sneak up within about 5 or 10 yards of every quarry they're pursuing. And they make a run and pounce. They can jump a long ways. One bite to the neck of whatever they're after usually paralyzes it instantly. If they can take down a full-size elk or a horse, I'm pretty sure a man would be no problem. There's not a single thing moving this afternoon, so the lion thing makes sense. I've got like 8,000 acres here to hunt on, so there's no sense in us sitting in one spot for the whole hunt. Tomorrow we're gonna make a change. I almost forgot to mention, the neighboring rancher said he's missing about 10 goats, and that's just within this month. So there's definitely an active lion within a few miles. But those things travel a long way. I think their range might be 80 to 100 miles for a male lion. Alright, let's head back to camp. Holy, there he is. Just made it back to camp, and that's our lion going across the hill right now. I don't think he'll mess with us, but you never know. In case something's wrong with it, or it's starving. Looks kind of skinny. Yeah, where I'm from, lions are really rare. They're not rare here. Got to keep both eyes open out here, or else Mother Nature will eat you. It's crazy how when you're in a tent, this little couple millimeter thick piece of plastic makes you feel safe, when really you're not. I've read a lot of stories about bears grabbing people through the tent, just reaching right in and grabbing them through the fabric and then dragging them out and killing them. All right, I'm gonna call it a night. See y'all in the morning. Listen to the mosquitoes swarming. Really not looking forward to making that walk to go hunt this morning, but all right, into the darkness we go. Made it. I didn't see or hear anything moving this morning. We're changing canyons this afternoon. All right, I'm headed back to camp. I'm gonna paddle the canoe out into the creek to some deeper water and try to get us a catfish. Check out the size of those tracks those sheep have. Way bigger than the deer in this area. I bet they weigh 3 times as much. There's bait. They're a little rotten, but I've still got some shad too. Got a cricket and shad on there. All right, fresh bait going out. Calling that fresh is an overstatement. I think they feed all night on these flats here and go back out into these holes during the day. Also, I know on these survival videos I haven't done real good on fishing, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. I've got 3 Texas bass fishing state championship trophies at home from my younger days, but I definitely know what I'm doing. It's just I haven't been in the best areas. But would you look at that? That's gonna be a fine meal right there. Oh gosh, look at that thing. That'll feed me for a couple days, probably. He ate the shad. Yes. All right. Let's go fry this guy up. This is actually a blue catfish. It's not a channel like I was planning on getting, but this is even better. I had a feeling bringing this little hand reel would pay off. I always keep one in my survival kit because of stuff just like that. Hand fishing reel. Made dinner tonight, boys. Let's go cook them up. I am super excited about this. That's gonna be my first fresh meat. Oh, it's been about a week now. I've been getting tired of the dried venison. As good as it is, there's almost zero fat in that stuff, but this catfish is gonna be full of fat, full of nutrients that I need to survive. Now, one good thing about fish as a survival food is I can put him on a stringer and leave him in the water and keep him alive till I'm ready to cook him, so you don't have to worry about him spoiling. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna string him up out here on a tree in the water till we're ready to cook. All right, let's get all the meat off of this catfish. Getting hungry. All right, I'm gonna dispatch him. I gotta spare you from seeing that. And then I'm just gonna fillet the meat off. I think I'm gonna go for nuggets this time. I'm thinking nuggets sound good. All right, I'll be right back. All right, there's all the meat. I'm actually gonna fry up this piece with all the bones in it. And I left the skin on some of it for a little extra fat. Let's go cook it up. So one of the few items I did bring with me was stuff to fry fish. I'm gonna drop it here in this batter and shake it up. Fish tails are actually delicious. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Let's get our oil heated up. All right, I guess you get what you pay for. This thing actually just malfunctioned. I had to wedge a rock in there to make it work. Kind of sketchy. Some avocado oil here I'm gonna get heating up. Gonna let this get good and hot here. Hopefully this doesn't blow up with me not being able to close that. That bottle of stuff is heating up big time. All right, let's see if that oil's hot enough yet. Oh yeah, perfect. I left the skin on some of it, I didn't leave it on all of it. My second time cooking with avocado oil, and when I fried a squirrel last, it foamed up like this too. I guess it's from the moisture, someone commented. It's looking like these are about done right here. I just mushed them and they're pretty soft, but I like my fish crispy and brown, so I'm gonna give it a little bit longer. All right, I'm gonna get this first batch off here. It looks like it's starting to fall apart. Ooh, look at that. It's a little too big for this pan. Ooh, looks good. Looks pretty good to me. So good. Some much needed calories going in here. 10 out of 10. I am absolutely starving. So good. About to head back out hunting for the day, but we're declaring war on them now. I'm breaking out the ghillie suit. That ought to do it. That ought to get me close enough for a shot. I've definitely located a be some in here now. So I'm gonna ease through it real slowly. And I'm gonna go set up in between this bedding area and water on a trail. I took the quiver off of my bow because it's just extra movement whenever I'm gonna raise it to shoot at one. I've got a big open grassland in front of me here. I think I'm gonna have to cross it. It's like playing a game of roulette, trying to figure out which trail they're gonna go down. Oh, and I'm gonna have to make my gamble, sit on it till dark. It's so hot, I can't wear this thing. I'll have a heat stroke. I'm just gonna set it up on this tree in front of me. This spot might just work. We got some big quail about 20 yards in front of me. If quail season was open, we would 100% be eating quail for dinner tonight. It's one of the finest wild game meats on earth. That species of quail is the size of a small chicken. Maybe like a small grouse. I've killed many a quail with my bow. It's plenty effective. And then suddenly the quail flush, and I lock eyes with this deer. This goes on for what seems like an eternity, and then he decides the coast is clear and walks right to me. Me. My bow hung on one of these tree limbs. Oh, that was close. No blood. Clean miss. I'm gonna go back to the blind and be real quiet. Maybe something else will come in. You can see where this arrow scraped a tree limb. I'm gonna go ahead and start heading back. I'm gonna watch for deer on the way back, but several miles back in the dark with the known mountain lion in the area. No gun. Well, I woke up late, so I'm just gonna go. It's a little bit windy, so I'm just gonna go scouting. I'm gonna go walk and hunt, still hunt, maybe spot and stalk, see what I can find. I just spotted some sheep. I'm gonna have to try and make it around the hill and sneak into within range of them. They're right on the back side of this hill. I've got to make it up this silently. I think my chances are best hunkering down in these rocks and waiting on them to come around the rim. I can't round the corner because the sun will hit me and I'll glow. But this is where those sheep live their entire lives. lives up on the top of these cliffs. You can tell they bed here probably every night. I'm just gonna lie here in the shadows and hope that one comes around this rock. And when he does, he's gonna be close. Suddenly, across the canyon, one appears. They're often referred to as ghosts, and I can definitely see why. Well, my 50-50 chance went the other way. They went the opposite direction. Check this out. Heading back out hunting for the afternoon. I think I'm gonna go to the same general area that we were in yesterday afternoon when we got that shot. I saw a lot of deer sign there, so. I'll see y'all when I get over there. Alright, I think this spot will work. One trick to hunting with a longbow is you want to get in as thick a brush as possible. That should give me a little bit of extra cover. Ready to rock and roll. That tells me there most likely aren't as many predators in this set of canyons as back over where I've been hunting. I'm seeing way more game. Little do they know, the deadliest hunter is right here in this canyon, just feet away. But they're lucky. It's not quail season. Deer, sheep, on the other hand, they're in danger. Hard shot. I just smoked a deer with Amazon's cheapest bow and arrow. This bow's only 35 pounds. That was a complete pass through. Yes. It took me a week of living in the wilderness, but we just got it done. Yes. She didn't go far. I watched her drop right down there. Let's go check her out. And there she is. I bet she didn't run maybe 50 yards or so. Fell right over dead. And it's a perfect heart shot. I'm gonna put a rock over the bloody spot so YouTube doesn't freak out and demonetize me. All right, there she is. Whew. Beautiful doe. This is a mature doe in this area. The deer don't get real big around here, but it's gonna be some great meat. Got it done. Amazon's cheapest bow. This bow only draws 35 pounds. These are dollar arrows, dollar broadheads. This bow is $80. Now, this 6-mile pack out of here in the dark with known mountain lions around is not gonna be fun. All right, guys, that's it for this week's video. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, and I'll see y'all next time.